Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing Happiest learning of the Pele Yoetz. We are in the chapter of Hillel, of praising Hashem, and today we speak about even praising other people in the proper way. Amnan, however, when it comes to praising people, yesh v'davar somera, within the praising of others, there is a somera, turn away from evil and from bad. Kigoin, for example, it says in Mishlei, oizvei Torah, those who abandon the Torah, Yahalu Rasha, they will give praises to the Rasha, Shehu Bichlal Ra'as HaChanufa Ki Rabbihi. If you praise a Rasha, a wicked person, that's included in the prohibition of Chanufa, of flattering someone. Flattering, which you're not supposed to flatter, certainly not Rishoyim. Kakasu Basfarim Kumash Kesavnu, like it says in the Svarim HaKadoshim, and elsewhere. So to somebody who praises and lauds sheker, falsehood, even if they laud the truth, they are going to be punished, which means there's never room for chanifa, there is never room for giving somebody the words of praise and the flattery that is certainly undeserved, but even when it is deserved, we are not people that walk around and we're mechanef and we flatter people to get the things that we want. When it comes to praising the actions of tzadikim, yesh b'dav is tzad mitzvah. In that already I could say, says the Pele Yoetz, there is a bit of a mitzvah that's involved in there. Asher yishmo, because people will hear the maisim and tzaddikim, tell of the stories of tzaddikim, and you praise them. Asher yilmudu lasas k'maseh, people will learn how to do like them. You hear an amazing, fascinating story about one of the tzaddikim, of how he treated his wife, or how he was so sensitive to another person, or how he was most nefesh even when he was tired with the clock change, to make sure that he still woke up at the right time and he learned all the learning he had to do. It's mechazik a person. And when a person gets that kind of chizuk, then they can act in that way as well. As we know, the jealousy that you have of seifrim, of Talmidei Chachamim, of tzaddikim, when you see what they accomplish, you say, you know what, I can do the same thing. The tar b'chachma will increase my own personal wisdom. So there's a benefit in telling over the stories of tzaddikim and their milas and their great traits and their successes, because it inspires other to become like them. But you still have to weigh it out on the scales. Don't do a mitzvah that's going to bring about a sin. Going, for example, Leimar, if you say the praises in front of the tzaddik, you're such a tzaddik, unbelievable, the way you daven and you do this and that and the chesed and the sheyuchalav, maybe the tzaddik will come to become a Baal Gaiva, will become a hardy. And then you yourself transgress the prohibition of not allowed to put a stumbling block in front of a blind person, which means he wasn't expecting all the praise. You now praise him to his face in front of other people, and now he says, oh, I didn't realize, I am such a tzaddik. So too, if you tell over the praises of the tzaddik in front of his enemies, those that hate him, you have trampled into the world of the dust of Lashon Hara, because by you praising him, other people say, oh, he's such a tzaddik. That person over there, really? Should I tell you what he did to me? I saw him the other day doing X, Y, and Z. So you're praising him. You're trying to make people realize what a great, righteous man this is. But those that are his enemies, and you say it over in front of his enemies and people that despise him, they will find negative and nasty things to say about him. So therefore, don't say anything at all. And furthermore, he writes, when you want to tell over the praise of the tzaddik, don't say it over in front of people that they're going to put an ayin hara, they're going to put an evil eye on them because they're going to be so jealous of him. Why, this guy's such a tzaddik. Wow, look at how he davens. Look how he learns. Look how he treats his wife and his children. And look how he's makabel everything. Be'emunah shlema. Wow, what emunah. And then the person gets angry and they get jealous and they inflict the evil eye inside of him. Certainly don't cause any damages or losses to your friend as a result of the kind words you're saying about him. Like it says in the Gemara, in Mishlei. Mishlei says, if someone praises a friend with a loud voice in the morning, it's going to be considered a curse. Why? Because you're going to say, oh, this is the nicest family in the world. They have such a beautiful guest room and their food is delicious and they're always taking guests. The phone's going to ring off the hook and they can only handle so many guests. And so therefore you ended up trying to do something nice saying about them. But it turns out to be the biggest curse in the world because now there's no escape. Everyone's coming over to their house. Sometimes, says the Pele Yoetz, it's worthwhile to praise the person in front of themselves. On the good deeds that they do. Let him know the great mitzvah that he's done. And the reward he's going to receive. He'll strengthen himself in his practices, his good deeds, and he'll add even more. This is, by the way, one of the greatest things we can do for our children. When your kids do something right, be mechazik them and the things they did right. Wow, tzaddik, unbelievable. You woke up this morning. Wow, you got such good grades on your report card. Wow, you did such a nice thing to your friend. Wow, you were such a good brother. Wow, you do want to be mechazik them, to strengthen them, to keep going along in the good ways. They'll add even more. Spouses also. Many spouses have issues with each other and they are always looking at the negative. Why don't you praise for all the good that they do? He said, wow, honey, it's so nice the way your dinner prepared. Wow, it's so delicious. You look so beautiful. You're so nice. You're so understanding. Wow, why did you praise? And that inspires people to do more. However, you should include in your words, look, it's really great, the mitzvah that you do of it, but don't pat yourself on the back too much. That's why you were created. And you can never anyway fulfill all of your obligations. Now, these words that the Pele Yoetz is adding over here is only for the person that can handle those words. I think an average person in the world today is so fragile and so delicate that if you don't praise them and tell them what a great thing they've done over here, and then and add in, if you add in these words, but you know what, it's not a big deal because anyway, that's what you have to do. You're going to take away the wind from their sails. They're not going to be motivated to do more. But if the regular, average, fragile, delicate kind of a person, just pump him up with the praise and encourage him and inspire him to do more. If you're dealing with somebody that you know could handle such a thing, they can handle the words of the Musa at the end over there, but Lamaisa, you did a great thing, but that's why you're here in this world, then go for it. If you receive good things, favors and benefits from your friends, you got to praise them, and you should bless them, privately and in public. That you yourself should not become a kafri toiva, a person of who denies the good that was done. Even if you ate one slice of bread by a balabayas, by a homeowner, by someone who owns the house, Rabbi saying, Chazal fixed for us a special prayer, bless the balabais. You can find it in most of your benches that you have. There's the hirotzon that we say for the balabais, for the owner of the house, thanking him that he gave us a meal. When it says further, somebody who withholds the praises and the blessings of the person who's done good to you, you shorten your days and your years. It's not a good thing to be a kafri toiva, to be someone who denies the good. Like it says, the one that I will bless the one that blesses you, which means if you go and you bless others, says the Rebbe, I will bless you. Like we find in Shas, Kol Shekain Hamakabel Mechaver Toiva Yisera. If somebody gets a really great thing from their friend, any type of pleasure, whether they gave you money, whether they gave you something that's valuable, that's worth money, you're obligated to bless that person. Give him a bracha. You should be gebench. You should always be on the side of giving. As you did chesed for me, Hashem should do chesed with you. Find the right words. And then the blessings will be chal. They will rest on his head. So, meaning the head of the one that's giving the praises. You're also going to get brachas. I, the impoverished, spiritual, intellectual, wise individual, says the Pele Yoetz, I put these together in my work. I have a special sefer that I wrote called Beis Tefilasi, and I wrote in there how you should offer a prayer to the person or the blessing to the person who you were makabel, you received pleasure from and benefit from. And now he says you can make a kavachemer, you can make a logical deduction. How much more so are we obligated to thank and praise and give brachas to Hashem? Everything is coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Anyone that did a benefit for me, they're not HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they're just the shluchi d'rachmana, they are the servants, the messengers of Hashem. There's no end to the goodness that Hashem can do, his kindness, that he does with me constantly, tamid, all of the time. To HaKadosh Baruch Hu deserves the greatest praises of all. So if I have an obligation to praise a person who does good for me, they're just a messenger of Hashem. All the more so to have an obligation to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu at every chance that I have. And if you live a life like that, where you are constantly being gracious, you have gratitude and thankfulness and praise to Hashem and blessing HaKadosh Baruch Hu and everything that's going on in your life, you're going to be the happiest person around, because you'll realize everything that you have in your life, everything is the chesed from the Rabbi Shalom, and you can thank Hashem literally for everything. As Pele Yoetz writes, even in the difficult times and the suffering and the pain, thank you, Hashem, that you made me from those that are you machiach, that you love, and you're willing to address here in this world. You're saving me the reward, the ultimate for the world to come. I'm not from the ones that you despise and you look down upon, and you give us the Ferrari in this world, and in the world to come, there's going to be, it's going to be a nightmare. So whatever a person has, thank you, Hashem. It's all good, because you're all good. You're the source of all good, and therefore that person who's living with constant gratitude and praise, be the happiest man alive. All the best.